For 25 years, it's been the only standard test for Lyme disease that's recommended by the CDC. The process involves a two-step blood test. The first test administered is called an Eliza, and the second, the Western blot. Both must be positive to indicate a diagnosis of Lyme disease. But it's often unreliable in catching the disease early because a patient's immune response may not be detectable. Dr. Sean McCloy is a medical doctor who diagnoses and treats patients for Lyme and tick-borne diseases.
If clinicians are over reliant on waiting for that positive test to come along, they may miss the diagnosis.
For Lyme disease, you really want to hone in on this bacteria, right? The Borrelia burgdorferi.
Chris Howard is the chief commercial officer at Zeus Scientific. The New Jersey-based company develops, manufactures, and sells diagnostic test kits for infectious and autoimmune diseases, including Lyme. Howard says the Western blot test can take more than a week to run and is not very responsive in picking up Lyme in the early stages.
So you could be a sort of quote unquote theoretically positive patient, but if you hadn't developed enough antibody, the test would be negative.
In an effort to come up with a better test, the company decided to replace the Western blot with an ELISA test in the second step. The modified test process was faster and easier to run for labs and showed a big improvement in detecting the antibodies against Lyme.
We picked up 27% more acute early Lyme cases than the previous method was. And in that methodology, we actually picked up 22% more in stage 2 Lyme as well.
Zeus's new algorithm of running two tests at the same time was approved by the FDA last summer. Howard believes this method will lead to faster diagnosis, treatment, and better outcomes for Lyme patients, but says more work needs to be done.
This isn't a so-called quote unquote silver bullet. It's not going to change everything for everybody, but from what we've seen, it makes a marked improvement over what was in there right now. It gives you better results and it gives it to you faster.